Good evening and welcome everybody to another edition of the Music and Mixing Show. I am your host, DJ Michael Joseph, and we do this each and every single week. And tonight it is all about virtual DJ. And we're going to be talking about a lot of different stuff like that, taking your questions. I hope that it's working a little bit better tonight because I know last week we were a little choppy. I did a lot of work on this, but I think I'm also going to have to maybe invest in something new. My studio computer is really old, but it serves its purpose for what it does, except for streaming. So hopefully everything's not as choppy as it was last week. I want to welcome everybody. If you're new to the show, you've never seen it before, we always take a couple minutes at the beginning. Welcome everybody. Kind of do a shout out to see who's here because we tend to get a lot of international viewers and I kind of want to see where everybody's tuning in from. And then we get into tonight's topic. So first off in the chat, first one up was DJ Matt's Wagon. What's going on? Welcome. Again, if you're watching the show first time, at the beginning, we do a little shout out to everybody, see who's here from and where they're from. So feel free to drop a thing in the chat. Tell me where you're from. A few of my regulars I know already, so I'll shout them out when I see them. But we are on 6 different places tonight, which includes YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're definitely going to get into the topic in just a couple minutes. I got some good things and some announcements, and I also want to get some opinions on some stuff, too, as we go tonight. But the whole show is about virtual DJ. And again, we're going to start here in just a little bit. I'm going to welcome everybody into the chat as they're coming in. I see more people coming in. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight from wherever you are tuned in from. Ryan Johnson from Michigan. What's going on? How are you? We got Sonus DJ, Evansville, Indiana. What's going on? Ray, thank you for coming in. Robin from Florida is here. Hello, Robin. We got Kenny Zhao from Orlando. That's Orlando with multiple exclamation points. That's what that is. But it does look like Orlando. Maybe there's a section of the town that's called Orlando. I don't know. DJ Sports Girl, hi, welcome. I believe you're a first-time viewer. I'm not sure. I don't recognize that name before. John Jazz, what's going on? State of Zen, thank you again so much for supporting all you guys who come here on a regular basis. Again, if you're new to the show, you never watched it before, we take a couple minutes at the beginning, welcome everybody in, kind of see where everybody's tuned in from, and then we get into the topic. I have a feeling you guys are going to have a lot of questions for me tonight, and that's great. Definitely seeing here a couple more minutes. We got more people tuning in. We are on 6 different places tonight that all include Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And I am watching the chat, so if you drop stuff in, I'll be able to see it, hitting questions. DJ Sports Girls from Detroit, what's going on? DJ Philip Tan from Boston. Matt from Youngstown. Mr. T from Hershey, PA. Chris Carr is from here. Thank you so much, Matt. What's going on? Hope everybody's doing well. This is going to be a fun show tonight because I have lots of stuff to say about virtual DJ. And I'll try to answer all the questions I can for you tonight. I'll be able to show you the screen. And I'm here on the studio computer. And again, I'm working on this, so hopefully it's in better shape than it was last week. And we had a lot of really bad choppiness. I did some work, but I think I'm going to have to replace this computer. Sagas MA is where Christopher's from. John C. from Boston, what's going on? But tonight, hopefully, I'll be able to share this stuff, and you'll be able to do that. Also, keep in mind, I have some other stuff going on, and I'll probably say this 3 times tonight, that I also do a very short show on Disc Jockey News called VDJ How To, and it's 3 minutes or less of new updates of virtual DJ, how-tos, tips, different things like that. And I can't even tell you how many videos I have over there. I have a whole lot of them, so go to youtube.com/Disc Jockey News and search for VDJ How To and the number 2. It's all one word, VDJ How To. And there's boatloads of stuff going on there. Cool. DJ Sports Girl does a lot of stuff on Virtual DJ Radio. She has some Saturday night playoff city mix. That's very cool. All right, so we got enough people here. We're going to tune in. So first thing I want to do is if you have questions, let me take a step back here. Okay. Ken asked me do I need glasses? No, why are you saying that, Ken? Sometimes when y'all chat something in there, I have a lot of trouble understanding what it is, so I apologize. Okay, so tonight it's all about virtual DJ. And again, like I said, I have another show that's 3 minutes or less. It's all pre-recorded. This is the live one, and that has a lot of virtual DJ stuff. And prior to this, we were doing once a month over on Twitch. We were doing a show about music because that's the only place that we can play music without getting copyright bumps. nobody came to that. So I think I'm going to change that and do a once a month on here for about virtual DJ. We'll see how that goes and see how everybody likes that. This is the first one, so we'll see how it is, how people drop questions in. Wherever you're chatting from, you can drop the questions in and be able to see it from all over the place, no matter where you're tuned in at. I also have my virtual screen up so we can share and talk about stuff like that. So feel free at this point just to dump some stuff in the chat. Questions if you had, we'll start from there. For those of you who don't know me, my history with Virtual DJ is I've been using it for over 10 years. I started with Virtual 7 back in 2009, went live with it from Mark Davis is from Arkansas. I definitely want to make sure I chat everybody out. But I started with Virtual DJ live out in places in 2010. I've been using it ever since. I absolutely love it, and I became a very quick person who MIDI maps and edits and does all kinds of crazy stuff with this. I think some people joined me in a few weeks ago and I talked about some of the MIDI mapping I do and different things, customizations, and I've been doing this for 10 years, since Virtual 7. So I have a lot of history with this, and apparently people think I know a bunch because they ask me a bunch of questions, and that's what tonight's going to be about, Virtual DJ questions. So feel free to hit me up in the chat with your questions. I know Virtual DJ is glitchy broadcasting video and audio. Is there something else I can do? I can broadcast it with. Gibram, please clarify that question because I use Virtual DJ for broadcasting I haven't done it in a couple weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks since I did a live broadcast. I do it all with Virtual DJ, and I don't have any problems with anything ever. So please let me know. Are you talking about that you're using Virtual DJ in the same way that I use OBS? Is that the question you're asking there, Gibram? So hit me back with that. MIDI mapped my MC7000 to change button features, or best way to make custom script folders. Is that a question or a statement, Chris? If it's a question, yes, I've MIDI mapped the Virtual DJ. The MC7000 to death and back, and to the point where I have a button on the 7000 that I hit instead of because I hate having to use the mouse pad and do stuff. So everything I do it from the controller. So I even have a button on there that will highlight the search bar. So instead of me having to take the mouse and go up and click the search bar and then type in my search, I hit the button on the deck, go in there, type, come back down, switch folders, scroll through, load, shift, load, kicks it over to the side list, all kinds of stuff like that. So there is a whole bunch of stuff I do with that. I MIDI map the top 3 effects buttons to be solid and set in place so they're never switched, because there's like 3 effects I use all the time, and that one's set there all the time. I have on the hotkey pads, I have it set up as on top layer of the first one is hot cues. You hit it again, it takes you down to the sample bank, like that Serato has. Virtual has a sample bank. I have that on the second one down. The next button over is... gosh, I can't even remember what the next button over is audio effects. Yeah, audio effects, and then underneath audio effects is recorded loops. Then the next one is video effects, so I have the next one set to do all my video effects. You go underneath it there, that, and it's sampling, and then the 5th one is to adjust the stems so that I can choose different stems and different things. So all of that has been MIDI mapped along with just 101 other things. The way Virtual does the kick drum in there, the automatic kick drum that's synth, I have the sensor button set to run that kick on beat. It cues with beat, so all I gotta do is hit that, and then boom, 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 it goes. So, Mark Davis says, okay, so I want to take it back here to Gibram, and he's talking about, yeah, I use OBS on everything, and that's what I use for this. So basically what I'm doing is that I am broadcasting the music. When I broadcast the music from Virtual DJ, it goes through the MC7000 sound card out, and then any mics I use, I have a separate USB mixer that I run that. So the purpose of that is to keep those two sounds, the mic and it, separate. And then I just basically do my video through OBS, because when I do my broadcasting for the things, I have a regular camera, I have an overhead camera on the decks. Both of those are going through OBS. I do a capture screen on Virtual's video out, so that gets put in there, and it's all done through OBS. I think that Virtual's video thing, like OBS, is very resource heavy, so maybe that's why you're doing the glitching. Do not hesitate to jump into OBS or OBS Studio, which is the other one. Both of them are awesome, and trust me, it'll make your experience doing a live broadcast a lot better, in my opinion. Not saying you can't use the virtual one, but I just think that this runs better than that. So, okay, moving on down. The questions here. Matt Davis, I'm currently running 2018. Should I upgrade to 2020? Now, here's the thing, Matt. Mark Davis. Here's the thing, Mark. There's 2018, then there's 2020, then there's 2021, and then there's 2021 Summer Edition is the newest thing, and that's what I'm running, is the 2021 Summer Edition. So if you're running 18, that's 3 back, so it's 2021, 2020, 2018. So I keep everything up. Soon as they go up to date, I go in and update it. Virtual does 2 things here, and I'm going to share a screen here. If I can get this open properly without glitching stuff. So I want to go to all right, so can we do left screen on this with this up? Yay, so there I am. So we're going to go into Virtual DJ's changelog here. And one of the things with Virtual DJ's changelog is that they have 2 versions here. You're going to see standard access and early access. Early access is kind of like a beta, but it's a little bit past beta. It's close. And standard log is just basic. So I have this studio computer set to early access. So it basically, when I open up Virtual, any of these updates that have not reached the standard log, I get them on the studio computer and I test them. But my DJ computer, I only run the standard log updates. So, and you can have I'll show you how to set that in a minute. But right now they're both. Oops. Right now they're both the same. If I'm pick 6444 and 6444, yeah. So they're both running the same number, as you can see right there. And if you want to do the early access or the late access, if I can do this now, we go into here, and in this options area here, we're going to do. I think it's update. Yeah. Check updates automatically. Yes, no, or silent. Early access updates, yes and no. So if you want the early access updates, click yes. Like I said, this computer's on yes. Let me zoom in there. I have a zoom, don't I? Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, so this computer is set on yes for the early access. My DJ computer is set on no. I always wait until the stuff, because that's the one I make my money on, but this is the one I test everything on. So I run that one right there. So I hope that answers your question. We're going to go back to the chat here. I'm reading part. If you see here we go silent, I'm going silent. So yeah, Mark, that's what I would tell you too is that there's so many updates, and I'm not even sure if I want to go through and tell you all the updates since then, because there's been a lot of updates since 2020 and 2021, like huge, and then 2021 to 2021 Summer Edition is crazy huge. A lot of things that I like on there. Like one of the things they just did is that they allow you to, as you see this song here now, let me roll that up there a little bit so you can see it. It's blue. So they did a thing over here in this section that lets you do quick filters. So if you do a search, you can then secondly filter quick by hitting a button like there to do something like that. But also in this, it lets you do other things like stuff that's already played. So you know how it marks it with the little red thing right there on the side? Now you can set it to where it marks the whole line a color once it's played, or any other endless amount of things that they do in this, what it can do. And there's a boatload of different things that you can add to this, of things, as you can see, of all the things it can do. You can choose it, and then that does that automatically. That's a filter folder. And then you can also, I'm going to delete these because there's nothing there. And then these ones are quick fill buttons that are like first scene, genre is pop. So let's say I go back here and I do a search for 100-105, and it's going to bring up everything up there. And then I'm going to do first scene. And I don't know. This computer's probably not going to show first scene because it's not in my DJ computer that I do regular all the time. But this is genre then. Anything by pop, it will do that. So I can either turn that off, and it's going to show me everything between those 2 BPMs. And I'm doing it by play count, highest play count first, and then I can do the subgenre of whatever I set that up to, genre being pop. I could name that anything. So these are some of the stuff that came from 2021 to 2021 Summer Edition. Hope that explains. Back to questions. Chris said he wants me to show ideas on how to mini-map, and also I want to have virtual pull music into certain folders. That's smart folders, which is kind of difficult in its own way, but it's not difficult because they're just smart folders is all they are, basically. So if I'm going to go over here, let me go back to here, And then we're going to move this over. Some of these are smart folders. I think they are. Yeah, this one is. So this one's stuff that's recently added. So if I go in there and edit that, you're going to see days since first seen, 30 days. So if a song, I put any songs in here in the past 30 days, which I have on my DJ computer, not on this one, it would show up there when I click on that folder, and it's what's called a smart folder. Oh, let me slide this over so you can see that better. So that's a filter folder, and most played is simply going to edit it by the top 50 songs that I've played in that order, which is not that difficult. And compatible songs is one that if I drag and drop one up in here, it should switch up that compatible. I think I go here, go here, then back to compatible. Yeah, it'll change up what songs are compatible with that one, being BPM, key, stuff like that. See, it doesn't go too far off. Some of them do go off far key. But that's kind of what those are, and you can fit one in there, like I said, for recently added, that would just simply add the stuff. Like if you put something new in there, you can, or in that, instead of doing that in there, you can go in and put a genre in there or something like that, because it gives you the same things: file name, play count, first seen, bit rate. There's the genre. So if I wanted to change it to genre, I put genre, and if you mark something in the tag a certain genre, that would do that. Put that in there. So you could put like EDM 2020 in your thing, which I'll show you here. Let me go back to here, and if you go into tag editor, let me move this over a bit. All right, so one of the things I do in tag editor is grouping right here. And grouping, you have the genre, which you put your genres in there, whatever you want to. And then groupings, I do other things in there like decades. So 00 means that song came out in the 2000s. 00S, same thing as like 90s, 90S, etc. And then I might put stuff in there like remix, redrum, mashup, something short edit or something, so that when I do the searches, because I have the different searches set up here to show me these things, and one of the things that it is set to look for is what is that field called? I just blanked on what it was called. Groupings. It will then, right there's groupings, and it will then bring, even though I don't have groupings showing here, it does then search. Well, I guess grouping is showing here, and it does do that by grouping. So anything that I've put in the groupings will show up there, including line dance, which is, and now because I put line dance in the tag editor, line dance there, and in the grouping, it comes up as a search. So I might have something else there and then put that there as line dance. But that is kind of what those jump around smart folders can do. So you can set up the folders to do that also ahead of time. So it gives you a folder of whatever you set that up to be. Let me go back here. Okay, now back to more. I love these questions because I love talking about virtual DJs. So thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, this show, if you're new to the show, the show is called Music and Mixing because it's mainly about the mixed DJ and all the different stuff the mixed DJ does. I do shows about mixing and different things like that, but I have a love for virtual DJ, and a lot of people know I talk a lot about it. So I thought I might do a monthly thing and answer your questions on there. Moving down here. Christopher Carr says, I have a question about the Apple M1 chip on Virtual DJ. Have 5 minutes. The waveform lags. I can't find a solution. Now, they did say I don't have access to an M1 chip, so I'm not going to be able to help you on that because I've not tried an M1 chip. But they did put it out. I couldn't tell you how long ago. So let's go back here to the changelog, and we're going to look here for find M1. And accordingly, they did edits on back in December for the M1 chip. They did things. This is December. Fixed light theme for M1. Is there any other ones newer? No, so that's the first one. So they've been working on M1 chips since last year, doing stuff. Native M1 Mac build. So that works in there. Oops, I'm not sharing that. Sorry. So yeah, anyway, you see the M1 there. They've done work on that since then. This is the standard log. So as far as I know, it's been working all along. I would guess that it's not an M1 issue if it's lagging, because the M1 issue, if I'm correct, has to do... Well, maybe it is, because it mainly has to do with the troubles that I've seen with it. It had to do with stuff in the graphics, because I've seen... somebody had the 1000 SRT running Mac M1 chip, and the platters, the LED platters, were way behind what was going on the screen. Like, so it has something to do with the visual stuff. I've not had any problem. Like I said, I've not had any hands on the M1 chip. Best thing you could do is that if you don't know, Virtual has a really great, we're going to go to Virtual DJ here. I'm not sharing again, sorry. And we're going to go left screen. So if you go into Virtual DJ, this is the website, virtualdj.com, and go into Community, and then you go to Forums. And in the forums, you can ask a lot of questions. There's probably people that have done the M1 question. So if you just type in M1 there, no one's done an M1 search for that. Of course. Oh, that's so hilarious. So nobody has made a comment about M1. So feel free to go in there if you sign in with your thing up there and do a thing for. I can't believe no one is. So apparently, either no one has an M1 that uses Virtual, or everyone's having a great time with it. I don't know, but that would be the first place I would go, is talk to them, because sometimes you get actual Virtual DJ texts and different things that answer questions in there and help you out a lot. Other than that, I can't help you with the M1. There are forums and different things. I did post, anybody who came here tonight, because some of the forums I post, thank you so much for coming from there. There's one that's for Virtual DJ Pro users and different things like that. You can join, and there's probably people in there that can answer the question too. But again, because I don't have access to an M1, I've never really got to test that or do anything, so I apologize. Next, DJ Philip Tan says, on the Mac, can VDJ use multiple audio devices simultaneously, e.g. send out? As far as I know, it can, because it does on everything else. Like I said, that when I run it on the other one, that I'm running, letting Virtual pick. Let me go back here. We got Virtual, and we're going to share the left screen, and there we go. So if you go into, those of you who don't know, you can go into here and go to audio, and right now it's going out this chip, and it's basically sending it out to the computer audio, which right now I have a USB sound card plugged in, which is not recognizing that, but I am going through there. And you can add other sound cards to send different things. So like you could send the headphones and just single decks. Let me zoom in so you can see that a little bit better. So you could choose different things to send audio to. So then you can have audio going out of the computer. So you could be listening to audio on the computer speakers, but yet sending audio to somewhere else. And as far as I know, that works for both Mac and PC. I don't think it. As far as I know, it works the same for both, because it always has. It's going to ask me if I want to save. No, I don't want to save. So yeah, I don't have any. Oops, not that. You don't want that. Too many buttons to click. As far as I know, I've never had a problem. Like I've never heard anybody talking about that. So it should work. If you're having a problem with that, I guess I want to ask: do you have a problem with that, or are you just asking if you can do it? So if you can do it, as far as I know, you can do it. But if you have a problem with it, let me know on that one. Looking on down there, have you done videos on your mapping? Kenny Izale, please define that. Do you mean that have I done any MIDI mapping on the board to do effects or different things with video, or are you asking have I done video mapping on things through Virtual? Not sure what you're asking there. So how can I set it to pull day BPM 128.30? 130. I'm not, Chris. Take a few seconds when you type these in to be a little bit more specific when you're asking the question, so I can follow there. I want to show everybody something real quick here. A lot of you probably already know this, so please forgive me if you already know this. But Virtual DJ allows you to do what's called string searches, which I really like. So let's say I'm playing this song right here that's 105 BPM. So if I want to pick another song with it, usually right now I just have it sorted everything recursed, and I have it sorted play count most to least. So if I do a search in there where I go 102-107, now it's going to show me every single song in my computer between those two. So this is a song, this is a throwback song, mega mix from the 90s. So let's say I want to pick another song from the 90s. So I'll go 90S. And it's now going to show me things that have been grouped over here by 90s. Or you could, if you want to, you can go 90 1999, and then it's then going to look at the year as opposed to the grouping, and it's going to put everything in there again sorted by that. And then you can go space, and you can go dance. Now it's going to shorten stuff up that has somehow dance in one of those fields. And because of that search that way, you don't always have to worry about crates and different things like that. So you can, genre it down that way the entire night. So if I wanted to go 90s pop remix, it's going to show me my remixes that are in the pop genre. Again, for me, pop means that the song has hit the top 40. So if it's a hip-hop song and it's made it top 40, it gets marked on pop between those two BPMs. And that's kind of why you do a lot of that. I think you're asking me to make sure to clarify on that, Chris, that if you're asking me how to put them there, smart folder. Got it. See it there at the bottom. So smart folder is done, like I said, it's done the same as before, where I would go over here and I would pick the blue. This is a filter folder. Can I zoom in on that one? And we'll move this over. There we go. So I'm going to do a filter folder right here. I'm going to call the filter folder, what did you say that one? 128-130. And I hit OK. And then I put, what is it? BPM range, BPM difference. So it's equal to, gosh, I can't remember how to do this now. So it's equal to, might be 128-130, or is it, I think it is equal to 128, add a condition, BPM difference. Can you, oh, are you seeing that? Yes, let me move this over so you can see this a little bit better. BPM difference, it's not an alphabetical. BPM difference equal to 130, and then that should, unless we need to go less than 131 and greater than 127. So yeah, that's how you do it. So you have the BPM difference, and it'll pick between there within a certain folder range, depending on what you're doing there. And then I can add another condition that grabs everything. So right now, it's only grabbing some certain things there. So you can get real detail-y about that if you want to. So that would be like the folder that it's in, all conditions, any condition. There you go. Any condition will look at everything then. So we're now looking at everything in that BPM range by that folder. So now if I have that folder setting there and I go duplicates, which is I can show you how to do the duplicates, but by doing that now by one click, it's going to look at everything in your entire thing, not just a certain folder, and then group it between those two things. And like I said, you can keep adding and adding and adding and adding stuff, and it will continue to make that folder go down to less and less. DJ Miz says, virtual DJ is not glitchy in broadcasting video and audio. You might want to mess with the stream a bit. Yeah, there's a lot of little settings. Video is one of the toughest things to do because there are so many freaking settings on that. So that would be my first thing to do. I agree with him. Do some testing on your settings for that. And it's up to you. Has anybody had an issue maintaining a connection with the iPad remote app? I have used on like one or two occasions to test it. The Virtual DJ has, for those of you who know, they have an app that you can put on a mobile device like a phone or something, and you can then connect it via, is it Bluetooth or Wi-Fi? I can't remember, and I'm not gonna do it tonight. So it is hooked up Wi-Fi. So here, let me show you this left screen. So you would go into here, and let me see if I can move this over here. And you click that, and you download the app, and you'd look for different things. You can look for old versions of different things in there, and then it would, on that app on your phone, then you would have to be able to control your virtual DJ program from your phone or mobile device somewhere else. All right. I know that I've not had any problems in the few times that I've used it on this. I'm pretty sure John from Disc Jockey News does it. Him and Dan both do it from their iPad, so I don't think anyone has had that problem. If it's a specific thing, maybe, I'm not sure, but like I said, I've used it, not had a problem, and I know Dan and John from Disc Jockey News both use that and didn't have a problem here. So let me keep looking here. Chris goes, oh, is there a way in Virtual DJ to make booth output only send music versus the master? Yes, you can. you would treat that like a headphone is what you would do, because you want, if you, now let me ask here, Chris, you're basically wanting to use your monitor like headphones. Is that what you want to do, Chris? Let me clarify that. You can, but you can also do that inside, depending upon your hardware. You can separate them, including not having your mic go through the booth, so it's only what you're hearing. But if you want to just do headphones, you can set that booth out as the headphones. So if we go back to here, go to here, and we would go to audio, and you would add another one. And if I'm correct, it would be booth, and then you would pick, I think you would pick that, and then you would have a different channel. Now keep in mind, when they talk about channels on here, here's the thing, that everybody thinks channel 1 and 2 are, these two, and then 3 and 4 are the outsides. Virtual doesn't see it that way. 1 and 2 can be one output, like a single sound stereo output, like a master, and then 3 and 4 can be headphones. So you can, if you figure out that your 3 and 4 is headphones, you can then put 3 and 4 on booth out. So you're getting what you would get in the headphones via that booth out by choosing 3 and 4 if 3 and 4 are your headphone feeds. Does that make sense? I hope that does. Closing that down. No, I don't want to save that. Coming back to the questions. You guys are awesome. I was just asking if it is possible. I've run into a few situations where I need to do that and can do it. Yeah, so that's how you do that. Script, I'm smart foldering 128, 130. Cool. Is there a way to access my playlist on Virtual DJ when I need to switch to my backup hard drive? Now, if you are asking if you can do that by plugging in the hard drive while the program's open, you should be able to, as long as that hard drive was scanned before this time. So let's say I'm playing and I want to throw another hard drive on and it has my playlists. As long as I ran that thing normal prior to what I'm DJing right now, stuck in my computer at home, let it scan it, let it find it, you should be able to access the playlist from there. Now, again, you can take a look at playlists, filters, filter folders. All of those kind of do the same thing. It's a little bit different here. Let me show you real quick here. In mine, let me move this over here. So let's look at my playlist here. This is listen advice, and there's playlists. But also, I have this playlist right here, Billboard Top 40, is where I keep it, because each week I update that, and I'll show you about Cloud List in a second. But it also updates right here. So as I do this playlist, it then puts it into this favorite folder, because took this playlist and favorite foldered it down below. So you can then have a playlist that you're not looking at, but yet again, it's a favorite folder that's out front. Same with Latin House and stuff like that. Now, all of this stuff, like I said, because I do cloud lists, I created a cloud list on Virtual, because there's my cloud list. And we're going to go back to left screen, and we're going to bring up this. And if I go back to cloud lists here in Virtual, and you can see they're kind of like crates. Think of them like crates that people put together, crates that have to do with different things, including that you can follow always updated charts from iDJ Pool, Virtual DJ, Beatport, Shazam charts, iTunes charts, and within subgenres of subgenres, etc. But I put a list out there if you're interested. Like I said, it gets updated every week. It's called Billboard Hot 100 Top 40. So as I fill that folder and change that each week with newer songs, like I haven't updated this in over a week, so these songs are not currently accurate. They're about a week and a half old. But as this is here, and I put this here every single week, all you would have to do would be to go into your Virtual DJ folder, start right here, and there would be a thing there that would say subscribe. You would subscribe to it, and then you go back into Virtual DJ, go into your cloud lists, and hit refresh, and it would then show you the ones that you're subscribed to, and you click on it, and it's going to tell you the songs, and if you have the songs, you'll be able to just drag and drop them. Same with this club anthems that someone made and hip-hop and rap that someone made. These are not mine. They're not on my computer. It's a cloud list, kind of like a crate that people have created, and you can put them out there and share them and all kinds of stuff. So when it comes to playlists, you should be able to find them no matter what. I think here, mapping your buttons on your controller. Kenny, let me clarify what you asked me before. Oh, video mapping. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have actually, like I said, that on, I don't know if I can do this here. So if I go here, so right now, this is what my hot cue points are. And I have a song loaded up in that deck, so there wouldn't be one there. So let me go down and grab one. Just grab one from Billboard. Drop that in there. And you'll see cue points that are in there. And if I do another one, cue points that are there. But if you switch from cue points, where the freak is that? Hot cues to slicer, it's going to give me the slicer effects as if it was playing. So I go down here to my custom audio, and it now puts effects that I've created in the button. So if I hit the second button to the right on my choice of hot cues, it then adds this pad to that button. And the same thing I did with the third one, I did a custom video one. So I have overlays, cube effects, logos, spirals, spectrums, and different things like that. So I hit my third button in the choice of pad modes on the controller, and it then goes to this pad mode, and I have access to video effects and different things like that there. And that can be anything from doing text or oops, sorry, wrong one again. Click the wrong one. Text or anything like that whatsoever that you can do that. So the hot pads can be made absolutely anything you want. And like I said, I have my second layer on there. The second one is the scratch bank that drops into my scratch bank that I set up. And all the way to the right is the different effects that I do with the stems. So hope that helped. Moving on down the list here. Yeah, smart folder. I don't know if I showed that before, Chris, about the smart folder. So you can just click on that. That's the purpose of that. So now with virtual, you can either do the smart folder, or you can do these quick access buttons here and do the same thing and do a quick button here that does it by genre or first scene, or you can go over here and make a folder, a list or a folder, a smart folder, and then you can favorite and have everything down there and all that kind of stuff. So. How do I map effects on my keyboard? That's actually really simple. You're going to go back into here, and you're going to go to Options. Nope, it's not Options, Mapping. And if I had a controller in there, the controller would be here. Okay? So all you do on whether you're mapping a controller or you're mapping something else, I'm going to hit a key on my keyboard, and it will tell me right here what key that I hit. So I'm going to hit the letter U. Oops, U. So there's nothing mapped for U. So that was the back button. And there's the letter U. So I don't think I have anything set up for U. So I could go in right now and put in, there's nothing there for letter U, right? Yeah. Okay. So I can go in, and gosh, I forget how to add a completely new thing there. Give me a second. I forgot how to add them. Because there used to be a thing right down here you would add. There would be an add button right there. Is there a U? I don't think there's a U. No. But let's say you do hit another one that's there, like Alt whatever. You would just basically find that, and you would put that in there, because on mine, Alt X is deck 1, go to cue point 6. So Alt and X on mine, it does that. I don't have a lot set up anymore. Here's effects. So if I hit Alt O, the letter O, it's going to do the beat grid effect, Alt P. And these are going to be here. And again, I can't remember how to add one over here. Because I think you do it this way. So if I wanted to add one, the letter U, let me go back to here and go U. And then, oops, hold on here. I'm going to go, so if I want, I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go U. So I hit the letter U, and I can put that in there and hit that. And then go to cue point 3. And so now U is in there to go to cue point 3. So that's what you do. You hit the key that you want to do, and then you type in the string, the little code string of whatever you want it to do. And if you don't want it there, you're going to delete it, and it's gone. And that's all you do to add to keyboards, or the same exact way if you want to MIDI map a button on there. It's done the exact same way. No, I don't want to save that. Awesome freaking question, guys. Let me go back here. Let's Let's see here. Reading there, smart folders, keyboard. Someone said they got it. Cool. See, that's where I get stuck. It's the drop-down menu and so many things to pick from. Yeah, it is. Here's the other thing I want to share with you. I think it's really important. If you go into Virtual DJ, basically, let's just say we're going over here to Google, and I go, and I have the MC7000 manual. And I can go specifically to the hardware manuals inside Virtual DJ, and they have a very good thing to work through that you can like look at different things, the layout area, the mixer area, and it will open up that, and it will tell you what different things are, and pads. So if I want to look at the pads, it can tell me how to do certain programming on the pads, what they're good for. I'm not sharing. Crap. I got to start that over again. I keep doing it, so I got two screens. So again, I typed in the 7000 manual, clicked on that. It took me to here. This is a hardware manual. Open that down, and we're going to go into the mixer area. Like I said, every piece of hardware they do has these sort of things to where you can go in there with your piece of hardware, identify stuff, and learn how to program things in there. And they also have in Virtual the MIDI, what's it called? MC7000 MIDI language? MIDI, it's MIDI something it's called. The VDA MIDI, I think that's what it is. The Mappingpedia. Yeah, and this is where it's at. Mapping MIDI controller Virtual DJ 8. They have one for 20. You just have to click a different one. And it talks you through how to pick those. Now, everything they do, this is the script example. So if you want to go look at script examples, you can go in there and look at different script examples that they do for stuff and how to set it up. And that right there would be something you would do if you want to combine buttons, true trigger effects, which I have mine set up that to where if I hit the top left effects button on Virtual, it both triggers an echo effect and a flanger effect at the same time. So I have a flanged echo that is post fader. And that's how you add those to the buttons. But anything you do, Virtual has some awesome manuals on there to get you through that. Plus, again, go to the forum and ask questions. People have them there. Yeah, Maps telling me his Wi-Fi, thanks. Do you just do an internet speed test to see what your upload bandwidth is and then cut it in half, and that's the bit rate? I guess he's doing to help with the Virtual DJ, yeah, which is true. And a lot of people, like I said, because I have a Comcast internet, and my upload speed is very limited by them. You can pay a lot of money and get a really high download speed, but your upload speed's not, it's hardly anything. I have like third tier up from the bottom, and I'm just getting 10. That's it, and that's Comcast is weird about that. Next one here says I want to set it for videographer. So Chris is saying about setting that for the videographer, like a sound out for the videographer. You can do that, yeah, absolutely. You have a totally separate one for that. I know about the output channels. That made a few things easier for me. Yeah, you can get really detailed about those output channels, like I said, because there are days when I'm doing broadcasting over there, when I'm doing the whole setup, that I want a certain thing going to the broadcast. I want a certain thing going on in the room, and I want another thing going on in my headphone, and because Virtual allows me to do all three by picking different drop downs for that. So you can do that. It's here. Ray, thanks for hanging out. Sorry you had to go. There's some very nice tricks and hotkey editorials. Chris Carr said thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Feel free to hit me up. We still got time. It's all about Virtual DJ tonight. If you liked this, let me know. Because before, like I said, we had once a month we would go over to Twitch and do shows about music, different versions that I had, why I picked them, how to mix them, all kinds of stuff. But we got nobody coming over to that. So if it's something maybe you're interested in and doing maybe a specialty night where maybe I do a Zoom and 10 of you come into the Zoom and I cover that there so we can talk about music, let me know. I'll do that. Or if you want more of these Virtual DJ shows, I already have plans on bringing someone on to do Record Box and Serato, so they're going to be able to answer your Record Box and Serato questions. I already have plans coming up for that, but I'm probably going to do once a month here with Virtual because I'm a virtual person. So lots of people still hanging out. Thank you guys so much. Again, hit me up with the questions. We still got a couple minutes if you want to ask me more questions. We went way over the hour last time, so that was kind of There are great questions. Last week's show, it was about you and your computer, and I talked about the importance when looking for a DJ computer, stuff to look for. Not necessarily, I wasn't doing Mac versus virtual, because I don't believe in that. You pick what works for you, but I did, things to look for, hardware, different things like that. And I'm now in the process, like I said, because I think I'm going to replace my studio computer, because it is 12 years old, and I've literally updated it as far as I can update it. I want to put another GPU graphics card in it, but I would have to switch out my power supply to put a newer graphics card in it, because it has too low a wattage to run the current run of graphics cards. So it's either I upgrade power supply, which is possible, and I don't know if I can find a power supply that puts out the wattage that I want that's going to fit in that, or just buy a new computer. Again, 12 years old, still running. It's what I'm doing the show on, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. Chris Davis asked, last one, how do I set up VDJ for videos so that I can get it to play videos on the right deck and not both? Why would you want it to only play videos on the right deck and not both? Do you mean that it's seeing the output is one video and not both? I think that's what you're asking, but clarify that. Do you think we'll get a Virtual DJ 2022 soon? It seems like every 2 years. They don't actually, keep in mind that they update constantly. So Virtual DJ updates sometimes multiple times a week. And like I said, I always keep mine up to date. People say, should I Absolutely. Keep up to date. I don't have a problem with it, but always when you update, test it out first in your studio or wherever you're at. I say studio like everybody has one, apologize. But you can test it out, but update constantly. Do I think there's going to be a 2022? Their release has almost always been in the fall for the next year. So 2022 would come in the fall of 2021, but they put out 2021 early because Algorithms DJ did the stems thing, and Virtual already had that planned for their 2021 version, and they released the 2021 because they wanted to say, hey, we can do stems too. And then they did more updates for the stems, because you're able to put effects to single stems, so I can set an effect in there to go on just the vocals of a stem, so you hear the whole song normally, but I put the effects and it only goes on the vocals. That's why they put out the summer edition. They call it Summer Edition because it's different, but they update constantly. And I would actually advise you keep up on it all the time. I'm down to another music listening night. I missed the first one. Matt was talking about the music listening nights. And again, it's about me just kind of playing some versions, you guys playing versions, and I go look for them and play them so we can hear different versions of songs, get some ideas for some different things. Let me know, again, if you want to do that. We didn't have many people over there, and we had a problem with the Twitch chat being way behind. So that's why I said maybe do a thing where we do a Zoom with everybody just coming in the room, and just to kind of do it like a little, because we can't do it on YouTube or Facebook because the copyright stuff, so we'd have to do it somewhere where we don't, and like a Zoom thing. So let me know if you're interested in that. I'll do a special night on that too. Yes, even if it moves on first deck, it only sends video from the right deck. Got it now. Video's a weird thing in Virtual. We're going to go here, and we're going to go there, and you're going to go back up to the manual. And you're going to go to, not interface, no, you're going to go to options and video. And here's where you kind of pick through a few that you can pick where it's going to send master video. Oops, let me click right here. It's not master. So you can do output of different things. I know that there is, if you have trouble with stuff, you can do, not BPM, FPS, frames per second. So you can do your video output frames per second. Keep in mind, that's an important thing, that if it's lagging, sometimes you just drop the frames per second, or if it's glitchy, you go up the frames per second. But video out should be pretty simple. You're choosing stuff from there. There shouldn't be any kind of why it's picking one deck over the other, because you have an out. I'm guessing that it is doing, this is what I'm guessing that it's doing. Let me go over here, move this down. I'm guessing that your audio, this is a video fader, crossfader, and this is audio crossfader. You can have it run automatic, linked, or not at all. So I'm guessing that you don't have it linked, and when you're off to this side, it sets still. So I'm going to pull the volume down on this song. And if I'm playing this, I don't know if it's going to work because I don't have a video playing. But if I were to move this over while it was playing, this would then do an automatic effect, and then it would move over. But I'm guessing that you have this stuck to one side and not attached to the crossfader. So if you're going over here for your audio, if this isn't on auto or linked, it will stay there. And I'm guessing that's why you're getting video out only one side, because your video crossfader is stuck onto one side. That's my guess. Try that. Let me know how that works. Going back to here. DJ Miz was saying he knows they update a lot. Like I said, I expect it in the fall. So that's what I expect, because they normally do in the fall. They just, like I said, they're labeling the current one 2021 Summer Edition. So I don't presume we're going to see anything, but I bet we're going to see updates all the way through the summer, little things here and there, new equipment, which, Lord, we haven't had any equipment for them to update to, hardly. So, yeah, so Chris saying there, have you heard of eCam software? Yes. That is difficult. I've had some trouble with that, because especially with, is it Mac that does it, where it takes over, a certain program can take over a camera, and if you're doing like switching via the digital thing, I can't give you any advice on that. There we go. Yeah, 18 to 20 was huge, and 2021 was stems, and then 2021 Summer Edition was individual stems and other things like that. Oh, Matt said that he took my Journey Lady Gaga mashup. I'm glad it worked, because I've never really got it to work very much. I think that the people who want to hear the Journey want to hear only Journey. The people want to hear Lady Gaga only want to hear Lady Gaga. But you put them together. So if it worked for you, great. It was a version that I had and tried where they mashed Just Dance and Journey's Don't Stop Believin', and it worked there. What's up, Jim? DJ Jess, late but here. Thank you for coming in. Top of the hour. We're about out of time. Again, let me know, whether it be through comments in the video or send me a message, whether you liked this virtual DJ show, if you want me to do it every month. I obviously can do that because I like talking about virtual DJ. Or if you want to go back, like I said, we've got 3 more this month, because this is a 4 Wednesday month. So, yeah, I'm going to try to have another guest on, because I try to have a guest a month. I try to do a topic show a month. I try to do a music show a month. And I try to do a mixing show a month, I think it was, whatever I tried. So maybe next time I'll have the deck set up and we'll talk about mixing things, answering questions in there. I can even show you how some of the MIDI mapping was done and different things like that. But like I said, for those of you who do Strato and Rekordbox, I do have plans on people coming in and talking and answering your questions for that too. If you can, click like, share, all that kind of stuff for both me and Virtual DJ. I appreciate that. If you want to support me, I have all those, the Venmo and all of that. You can go to my site and check all that kind of stuff out. Patreon, I have all of that. This, I DJ full time, and I do this for Disc Jockey News. This is my full time job. I don't do anything else but this. And again, I think it's a blessing to get to be on this thing and talk to you guys each week. So I just want to keep this up and keep opportunities open to keep doing this stuff, because I feel very, very, very blessed to get to do this. I really do. And I like to do an encouragement at the end of every show. And basically, summer's coming up. Besides us DJs working really hard in the summer for summer events, take some time to spend with friends or loved ones. Anything that you want to do, you like to do, go, if you're a boating person, go boating. If it's fishing, go fishing. If it's playing tennis, go play tennis. If it's going to see a movie or a show, take some time for yourself this summer. Make a connection with a friend or other DJs. Those who follow me on social media, I got to go out Saturday night. I wasn't DJing, and went to a couple places where friends were DJing, and ended up being a nice night with like a bunch of us talking DJ stuff. Had a real nice picture, all of us, and big smiles. Just little things like that can really help your life and keep your creativity sparked very sharp and all that kind of stuff. So that's my encouragement for the end of that. But again, join me on all the other stuff I do. Go to youtube.com/Disc Jockey News and check out the videos I do for them. Plus, I also have youtube.com/DJ Michael Joseph, or find connections to all of my stuff through djmichaeljoseph.com or immj.com. Social media, all that kind of stuff. Cool. that's about it. So next time, like I said, let me know what you think. It was a fun show. I was glad to get to hear and do that for you guys. But until next time, take care and God bless.